Hello, we are back following an enforced absence through the summer with the Euros and everything else. We are back now for the start of the new season. Loads to catch up on. This is Over and Over and Over Again. Hello, my name's Richard. Welcome back to my channel, Over and Over and Over Again. We're back for the new season. A little bit of a break we had there over the summer. What were the Euros on and my dice with the deadly virus that's been doing the rounds. But we are back all ready to go for what's going to be and hopefully an exciting season for Arsenal. Coming up on the channel, there's going to be the usual stuff that we were doing last year, match previews, match reviews, all that kind of stuff. There's going to be some new stuff as well, some new collaborations, loads of great stuff coming up. So if you haven't done so, please click the subscribe button down in the corner there. It is free of charge. It does help the channel to grow. We're going to be back now looking to get to that 500 subscriber mark. We're not that far away. We want to do that before the season starts. Coming up in this video, then, there's going to be loads of great stuff. We're going to look back on the Euros and, of course, the impact of our star boy there in the picture. Also at the latest goings on at both the men's and the women's side of the club. So that's all coming up in this video, the other side of this. I've always been a club over country type of fan. I've always followed England, but Arsenal's always been the main focus of my footballing support. But I did really get into it this summer, as I'm sure we all did. Not only the fact that obviously Bukayo Saka had such a great tournament, but I just think that the whole country really got behind the team as the tournament progressed. And maybe that's because of the struggles that we've had in our lives, haven't we, over the last year or so. It was nice to have a release, nice to get some fans back in the stadium, big numbers, great to see. And it was overall a really good tournament, wasn't it? But of course, I'm here to talk about the impact our boy had, Bukayo Saka. I mean, what a tournament. I wasn't actually expecting him to get any minutes at all. So I was really surprised when he started the game against Czech Republic. Of course, he got man in a match for that performance that night. And after that, apart from the injury that he had suffered, so he had to miss a Ukraine game, he pretty much was a regular in the team from that moment on. Of course, he did have an impact in the final. Unfortunately, not quite the impact that we wanted. Before the penalties, if you remember, Gareth Southgate did approach Bukayo Saka. You could clearly see he was speaking to him about taking a penalty, but I don't think any of us were expecting him to take the fifth one, the crucial penalty, as the fifth one usually is. Surely that's got to be a regular penalty taker to take that one. But fair play to Bukayo. He stepped up, had the courage to take it. I have to admit, I couldn't watch him take that penalty because I didn't want to think of the prospect of him missing and what effect that may have on him. But I suppose when you look at it, if it's going to happen to anybody, let's be grateful it happened to a player like Bukayo, who's got a great head on his shoulders, very mature, and I'm sure he'll be able to deal with the fallout that's come from that, and I'm sure it'll actually make his career even better, and I'm sure it'll make him an even better player on the back of what he achieved over the summer. So obviously, as an Arsenal fan, massively proud of what Bukayo Saka achieved. Really proud to see the England team finally in a final of a major competition, the first time in my lifetime. Didn't quite finish as we hoped, but just to see England in a final was probably one of the greatest moments I've experienced in football. So let's hope it's a start of a good period. We did reach the semi-final of the last World Cup. I'm not 100% convinced by Gareth Southgate, if I'm honest, but you can't argue with the last two tournaments, a semi-final, now a final. Let's hope that the World Cup next winter, we can go out there and take it that one step further and maybe finally get a trophy, which would be great, wouldn't it? But I want to focus on the great performances of young Bukayo Saka, 19 years old, the youngest player in the England squad. And I can't remember the last time an Arsenal player that had come through our academy system had made such an impact. And in the England side, especially at a tournament. I can't really remember it ever happening. You know, we've had a few Arsenal players that's been established England internationals over the years. Tony Adams, David Seaman, of course, Kenny Sansom before that, Ashley Cole. But none of them really had such a big impact at a tournament to this extent. Maybe David Seaman in Euro 96 for some of his penalty saves and stuff like that. But I can't remember it ever happening with such a young Arsenal player. So it's been a great tournament. It was a great tournament, a great summer. And I'm looking forward to seeing how Bukayo Saka grows on the back of that, and looking forward to watching him progress throughout his career now at Arsenal. Of course, we always knew how good he was, and it's been great over the summer to get messages off fans of other clubs, saying what a great player Bukayo has been, and what a great impact he had in the tournament. So good times ahead for Bukayo Saka, at least, if maybe not for the rest of the club, which we will come on to very shortly. So far then, it's been a fairly quiet transfer window. Yes, there's been the Euros, as we said, and things will maybe start happening now. So far, of course, we've only added one player to the squad, Nuno Tavares. Of course, not the 21-year-old left back from Benfica. Of course, he did play against us, didn't he, in the Europa League last season. Benfica fans wasn't particularly impressed with him, I've got to be honest. But he's a young player, and he has been brought in, obviously, as cover for Kieran Tierney, who does tend to suffer a lot of injury problems, doesn't he? So it's a position that we needed to strengthen. We've strengthened it, and it hasn't cost us a lot of money. Let's just hope he can settle down and become a good young player that can have a big impact in the squad this season and, of course, and beyond. So far, we're still waiting for any other signings. I think the midfield is looking the big problem area still, isn't it? Especially when you look at Matteo Guendouzi's now gone out on loan for the season to Marseille. And of course, the young defender William Saliba's gone with him as well. He's never going to get an opportunity to play for Arsenal, is he, by the look of it, for whatever reason. And I think we need to cut our losses there and maybe sell him on. But I say the midfield is still the problem area, isn't it? We don't know whether Granit Xhaka's staying. He was another one who had a great Euros tournament, wasn't he, for Switzerland. The performance against France he put in was incredible, and I think that really sums up the season that he had at Arsenal. Actually consistent, but if he does leave, that does leave a gap in the midfield area, doesn't it? There's still a lot of players at the club who maybe shouldn't be there. We haven't managed to get rid of yet. Say Kolasinac, of course, who played in a recent friendly. Lucas Torreira's not really going to be featuring. We need to get that situation sorted out. Players like El Neni aren't really good enough. Looks as though Joe Willock may be getting his move to Newcastle. Good luck to him if that happens. Ainsley Maitland-Niles is another one. Is he going to get back into the squad to make an impact with us this season, or is it maybe time to move him on? And then, of course, you've got Willian, of course, turned up for the friendly at Hibs, very overweight. That's not a professional attitude, is it? You've got a summer off. You've really got to get yourself in shape so that you're ready to start the new season. And clearly, he hadn't done that, and that's really disappointing when you look at how much money he's being paid by the club. So. And then you've got some of the younger players such as Nelson and Nketiah. What are we doing with them? Are they going out on loan? Are we going to sell them? Lots of changes need to happen, and need to happen quite quickly, because the start of the new season isn't that long away, is it? The beginning of August, and we're now midway through July. So things need to happen. They need to happen quickly. Otherwise, we're going to start the season with a very imbalanced and not much depth in the squad. So we do need to get this sorted out. Of course, the young goalkeeper Arthur Akwanko has got a new contract, joined the first team squad. He had a bit of a dodgy game, didn't he, against Hibs in the week, but he's only young, he's going to learn, and let's hope that he can improve. But I think that's another area we need to look at as well. Matt Ryan's, in fact, I think he's gone out on loan somewhere else. He hasn't gone back to Brighton, so we are goalkeepers short. We need to get that situation sorted out as well. So lots of work for the club still to do before the big kick-off for the season. Otherwise, I fear it's going to be a very, very long and difficult season for us. Of course, it is a fresh start, isn't it, for the Arsenal women? New coach has been announced, the Swede James Eidenvall, 38-year-old. He's come from the Swedish club Rosengard, where they actually reached the Champions League quarter-final last season. I think he's got a decent pedigree. He's been assistant at men's teams in Sweden as well. And also he's worked with Henrik Larsson as well. So I think he's got quite a lot of experience in the women's game in Sweden as well. He's won 3 league titles with a Rosengard and the Swedish Cup as well. So he's coming with a little bit of a pedigree. I think it's going to be a slightly different style of football that we're going to see from the Arsenal women next season. Let's hope that it can be a successful season, get ourselves back challenging for the league title again, and all the other trophies as well. Of course, there have been a couple of new signings as well on the playing side. You've got Mana Iwaboshi, of course, Japanese forward, come with a big pedigree, actually 77 caps for Japan, 35 goals. So a really good career that she's had. Of course, come from Aston Villa, played half of last season in the WSL. Of course, Aston Villa, who survived on the last day of the season actually against Arsenal, didn't they? Prior to that, she has played for Bayern Munich and Hoffenheim as well. So a lot of experience. And goal scorer, so it's a good addition to the squad. And of course as well, Nikita Paris, who we all know from the England ladies team, great player. She was record goal scorer, wasn't she, in the WSL? So she's come from Lyon, of course, who won the Champions League. She did score 31 goals in 47 appearances in France. Good record that is. Also 14 goals in 50 appearances for the Lionesses as well. Good goal scorer. Prior to that, she played for Everton, 17 goals in 52 appearances. And Man City, 46 goals in 90 appearances. She's won 2 FA Cups, WSL. Really experienced player, a good player. And another one that's a really good addition to the squad. So I'm expecting some good things actually from the Arsenal women this season. Of course, we finished third last year, qualified for the Champions League. So this is the time to really push on, new coach, some new players, a new philosophy, and maybe we'll see a really successful season. So let's hope so. But it's looking good for the Arsenal women, certainly at this moment in time, if maybe not quite so much for the men's team. So that's that video there today, just a little catch up there on the sound of Euros and what's going on with the men and the women's club at this moment in time. I say stay tuned to the channel, there's loads of stuff coming up. Of course, there's a friendly this weekend at Rangers. Would like to have gone to that actually, it's a shame about the ticket situation, but I will be doing some coverage on the channel, so look out for that. And so I'm going to have some great new collaborations as well as we head in towards the new season, of course, building up to the first game against Brentford. Going to be interesting, that, isn't it? The first game on the Friday night as well, so there'll be coverage of that and loads of other stuff as well. The channel's back. I'm going to be doing regular content again throughout the season, some different stuff, some familiar stuff, but it's all going to be good. So please subscribe, click the button down in the corner there if you haven't done so already, and I say stay tuned. Give this video a like if you enjoy it, share the content around, and look out for the next video. But thanks for watching, stay tuned to the channel, and of course, as always, come on you Gunners.